Cleveland Cavaliers general manager Koby Altman and owner Dan Gilbert. Photo by David Liam Kyle, NBAE via Getty Images. Cleveland Cavaliers general manager Koby Altman has been especially busy for the better part of the 2018-19 regular season, as he's made several trades, shipping off Cavs veterans. The Cavs' entire roster seems to be potentially on the trade block, and that will probably continue into the offseason, with the Cavs having a start-from-scratch rebuild. As initially reported before the deadline by ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski, the Cavs sent Alec Burks to the Kings and Nick Stauskas and Wade Baldwin-Ivy to Houston in exchange for the Rockets' lottery-protected 2019 first-round pick Brandon Knight and Marquise Chris. Wojnarowski would also eventually report that Stauskas and Baldwin were traded by Houston to the Indiana Pacers, and waived by Indiana, too. Now Stauskas is on the Cavs after all, after reportedly signing with Cleveland earlier this week, per Cleveland.com's Chris Fedor, for the record, but the key part of the Burks trade was the additional first-round pick for the upcoming draft. Currently, the Rockets stand fifth in the Western Conference with a 33-24 record going into the All-Star break. The first-round pick Houston sent to the Cavs figures to fall somewhere in between 21st and 25th. Right now, that pick is slated to be the 21st, per Tankathon. While most understandably so, have their eyes on the likes of the big names in Zion Williamson, Ja Morant, R.J. Barrett and Cam Reddish near the top of the upcoming draft, there will be some good talent in the 21st-25th range that the Cavs could target that can contribute to next year's team and into the future. With the NCAA men's basketball tournament on the horizon and the games getting bigger, it should give everyone a chance to get a good look at prospects who the Cleveland Cavaliers could target in that 21 to 25 range, and here are 3 guys in particular I think they should target with that Rockets pick in the 2019 NBA draft. Page 2, left to right, Trey Jones, Zion Williamson and Cam Reddish are the Duke Blue Devils. Photo by Rich Gracel, Icon SportsWire via Getty Images. It's easy to overlook Trey Jones, as he's easily overshadowed by Williamson, Barrett and Reddish, but he means so much to Duke. Jones has been solid for Duke, averaging 8.5 points per game, is really the fourth option on 43.2% shooting, per Sports Reference, but what makes Jones so important is he's the guy that facilitates for the Blue Devils. It shows as he leads the team in assists with 5.4 per game. Duke is also a great defensive team when dialed in, and Jones sets the tone on that end in particular. When you watch him, it's clear he's a good on-ball defender on the perimeter, but he's also good off-ball, as he plays passing lanes well. This season, he's averaging 2.0 steals per game. Again, per Sports Reference, it's also important to note when it comes to Jones' value on the court and what happened when he missed time with injury this season. One of Duke's 2 losses this season was against Syracuse. One of the reasons Duke lost that game was Jones only played in 6 minutes of the game, because of him reportedly separating an AC joint in his right shoulder. When Trey Jones left the game, offensively Duke seemed out of rhythm and did not get good looks, often with their best playmaker out. The Cleveland Cavaliers really could use someone like Jones to run the offense and facilitate. The Cavs' leading assist man this year among qualified players is Matthew Dellavedova at 4.1 assists per game, per NBA.com, and the second guy leading in assists is big man Larry Nance Jr. at 3.0 assists per game. Colin Sexton will improve, but his game isn't someone who is a true floor general. Sexton is a good scorer and I think will be a good defender on the perimeter someday, but he isn't someone that will be a true point guard like Jones. Page 3, on the left, USC's Kevin Porter Jr. Photo by Brian Rothmuller, Icon SportsWire via Getty Images. Kevin Porter Jr. is finally back from his suspension for reported conduct issues, and it has been an up-and-down season overall for the guard out of USC. He jumps out on the screen as someone who has freakish athleticism and can jump out of the gym. After 5 games to begin the season, Porter looked like he may be a lottery pick, as he was averaging 14.0 points, 1.2 steals and 1.0 blocks per game, per ESPN.com. More from King James Gospel. What happened to him was he missed 9 games with a reportedly thigh injury, got suspended and didn't play for a long period of time. He's back now, but is still trying to get his game back to where it was, which is understandable, with him being out so long. Porter would be a high upside pick for the Cavs in the 2019 NBA draft, because as noted, the guy is just a freak athlete with a ton of promise. The Cleveland Cavaliers currently have the worst defensive rating in the NBA, per NBA.com, and Porter can be a very good and versatile defender. With the Cavs' main priority likely trying to fix a defense that has been terrible for the last 3 years, this sort of selection would make sense. Porter is also a guy who is a capable three-point shooter, 40.0% this year, per Sports Reference, and he does a good job of attacking the basket. His finishing ability projects well at the next level near the rim, and he has his fair share of thunderous dunks. Page 4 photo by Frederick Breeden, Getty Images. Jontay Porter could have been a first-round pick if he declared with his older brother Michael Porter Jr., now with the Denver Nuggets, for the 2018 NBA draft, but he decided to go back to Missouri for one more year and have another strong season. Those plans took a different course when he reportedly tore his ACL and MCL before the college season started. Jontay Porter has good size for a center, standing at 6'11" and 240 pounds. He probably would have been a lottery pick if not for the injury before the season, but he could be available by the time the Cleveland Cavaliers pick with the Rockets' first-rounder. Porter's game is more predicated on skill than pure athleticism, so I think he should be able to bounce back from this injury. During the 2017-2018 season at Mizzou, Porter averaged 9.9 points on 43.7% shooting from the field and 6.8 rebounds per game, per Sports Reference. He has a nice offensive scoring skill set, is a good passer for a big man, as he had 3.7 assists per 40 minutes, and handles the ball very well for a big. In addition, Porter can stretch the defense with his shooting, as he shot 36.4% from 3 during his one season at Missouri. Porter is also decent when it comes to defending near the rim, as evidenced by his 1.7 blocks per contest last year. It's unclear what the Cavs will do with Tristan Thompson in the offseason, but having someone with a more well-rounded offensive skill set and is a decent shot blocker could really help. The Cavs' defensive struggles are well documented and their shot blocking is even more of an issue. Cleveland is dead last in blocks per game, as they're only averaging 2.6 blocks per game as a team, so adding someone who can block shots would improve the defense, which should be one of the biggest priorities in the offseason. Want your voice heard? Join the King James Gospel team. Write for us. Next, prioritizing the Cavs' SGSF situation. The Cavs will have a lot of guys to consider wherever that Rockets pick will fall, but in my opinion, these are 3 players that Cleveland should strongly consider during the 2019 NBA draft in that range.